Alrighty guys, let's look at the pros and cons for gas-powered trimmer versus electric or battery-powered or electric trimmer. For the pros for the gas trimmer, I can only come up with really one. Longer uptime. I mean, you run out of fuel, just tip it over, open the fuel tank, refuel it, and get right back to work, right? Although you should let your engine cool down before you fuel, just to reduce the risk of combusting, or at least stinking really bad. So there is that. But that was the only real pro that I could come up with for gas. Now of course that can be negated by getting more batteries. With most electric trimmers, you're going to check yours before you get it, but like the Hart one, you get about an hour of use out of the trimmer for a full battery. So I got 2 batteries. Use this one. It only takes me an hour to trim the entire yard. Okay, and that's over 1,200 linear feet of fence. That's 600 linear feet on the inside, 600 linear feet on the outside. So that's what, a quarter mile? Then I'm trimming along the fence, plus, you know, outbuildings and garage and the house and everything else. I get that done in about an hour, and that's a full battery for me. So I usually have the other one on charge just in case, and then as soon as I'm done with this, put it on charge to get it charged up. That way it's ready to go next time. So I don't need more than 2 batteries. Or if you got a bigger yard, you might need 3 batteries. I wouldn't suggest going above 3 batteries if all you're going to be doing is trimming. If you're going to use more tools, then definitely you might need more than 3 batteries. But if you're just going to be using it as a trimmer just for trimming, and you have a lot of trimming to do, more than an hour's worth, you might need 3 batteries. That way you can have 2 on charge, use one. When that one depletes, then you take the full one's off at charge, swap it out with the empty one, and then just cycle the batteries that way. That way you've always got your empty one on that could be charging for 2 hours. Because it does take a little bit of time for these to fill up. It's right around an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, if memory serves. I haven't charged mine in a couple months, so I could be a little off on that. Pros for the battery, effortless start, right? I mean, seriously, hit that. Oopsie. Hit your safety, pull your trigger, and she starts. There's no pull starting, there's no brum brum brum, there's no messing with choke, there's no priming it with the button or anything, there's none of that. So, effortless start. A lot of us older guys would definitely enjoy that part of it, right? They're quieter than gas powered, right? I mean, you listen to this, it's just, it's an acceptable level. My ears don't hurt. Your ears are probably not going to hurt. However, probably should wear ear protection just to be safe. There's 0 emissions right here where I'm using the trimmer. The emissions are more along the lines of where the power plant is, right? Because you are, you know, it is still using, the power plants in the area I think are still using coal. So it is still using coal to charge the battery. But that coal is being, the emissions for that is about 40 miles away, which doesn't make me have to smell it. Although if you're in a nuclear power zone area, definitely, yeah, but it's still creating nuclear waste, right? You know, but there's 0 emissions at the source where you're using the tool. So that's, to me, that's a good thing. And of course the emissions really probably way less through the electric as opposed to the gas anyway. Now they're almost nearly equal in power to the gas models these days. 5 years ago, 10 years ago, they were not. They were far behind and not very powerful at all. Put a little clip there at the beginning. You saw this thing power through something. So they're nearly equal power to gas. I would say this performs as good as gas models I've used. Other than the fact that it's like effortless start, so there's no bogging down in the beginning. You know, once you turn the choke off and it bogs down a little bit, you don't have any of that So in that aspect, it performs way better than gas. But then once the trimmer gets warmed up for a gas trimmer, it's about equal to the same to a gas powered one. So that's a pro for the electric model. You're not losing much power, if any. And an electric model can save you money. Gas powered tools, you do have to buy the fuel, you know. And fuel these days, let's face it, it's getting up there. Now, of course, you still have to pay for the charging of the battery, which electric prices are way cheaper than gas. So in the long run, it's going to save you money and fuel costs. However, at startup, and this would be a con, at startup, it's going to cost you a little more to get the extra batteries that you may or may not need. So if you buy a trimmer, you know, get one with a battery, get a 40 volt battery or 40 volt model, 40 volt trimmer. Don't get a drill model that's 20 volt. That thing's not going to have any power. Get a 40 volt model. That way you have plenty of power to get you through the day. This is a 5 amp hour battery. Like I said, lasts me about an hour of use. If you can get a 10 amp hour battery for your model, do it. It's just going to make the battery last longer. It's going to be more expensive. Like, I think this battery was like 90 bucks when I got it. I think they're down to 70 now. And sometimes if you watch the sales, you can get a free battery with the tools. Like, legit, pay for the tool, free battery with it. Not the package deal where there's a battery and a tool for a much higher price. So watch the deals. You can pick up some free extra batteries that way. I've done that a lot with drills and stuff, power tools. But definitely, if you're going to trim, if it's going to take you about an hour, you're going to need at least one battery. If you go with the Hart model, it'll take you at least one battery. If it takes you an hour, if it's going to take you 2 hours, you're going to need at least 2 batteries. And if it's going to take you longer than that, you need at least 3 batteries. That way, 1 or 2 can always be charging, and then cycle through that way. Because by the time you go through 2 batteries, the third one should be charged. And then, of course, this second one you used, or the first one you used, should be mostly charged at that point. And hopefully it'll be charged by the time you're done with that battery. So, I mean, you cycle through and then you'll be able to get it done. Some cons, well, like I said, 1 hour charge, or 1 hour of use. That's a con. That can be negated with more batteries. So, not that big of a con, but it is still a con for most people. Cons for the gas-powered trimmers, well, they're loud. So you definitely need ear protection on those. I mean, you should still use ear protection on these, but you definitely need ear protection on the gas-powered ones. There is more maintenance with the gas-powered ones because you got to clean the carburetor, you got to check the spark plug. What else you got to do? Yeah, I don't remember. It's been too many years since I've used a gas-powered one. And you got to mix your fuel, right? I mean, that's not fun either. Of course, you know, the little canisters you buy nowadays for horrible amounts of money make it easier. It is still cheaper to buy a bigger canister and then measure it out yourself. So you're paying for convenience on mixing your fuel with the gas-powered. That's a con, though. That is definitely a con. And then the fuel costs. I mean, what are we up to? Like $3.50 a gallon? We was almost up to like $5 there for a while. I mean, it's coming back down, but not like it used to be. So, anyway, I hope that helps you out on making a decision there as to pros and cons of gas-powered versus electric on the string trimmers. My money is on the electric, just for the ease of use. I mean, instant start as long as you got the battery charged. So, not really pushing toward the environmental end. My end is ease of use, and it lasts long enough for me to get my yard done. I've got 2 batteries just in case, but it does last long enough, so no problems there.